Welcome back, Tarot fam. We are on to part 6 of the K-Fed Tome of the Century. We'll be right back. Welcome. If you are new here, my name is Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And what we are doing is we are breaking down K-Fed's You Thought You Knew with Tarot Tells the Truth. So it's a new series for me. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We are all the way into chapter 12. And this is where Kevin starts to talk about his music career. So I did a little bit of research because he does say in this that he had a little bit of money to play with. So why wouldn't he? He's married to Britney Spears. But he also said that he contributed $500,000 to the house in Malibu. And so I was like, how much money did they actually get? They actually got $1 million per episode. So I know season 1 had, I think, 8 episodes. So that's not bad. So they split it down the middle. He had $4 million to his name, $500,000 that he put into the house. He does cite that he spent $500,000 on his music career. We'll get to that, but we're going to see what's going on here. So we're just doing some truth telling with the tarot. I am going to bring up the card view. Thank you so much for being here. As I bring it up, please hit the like button. Oh, and some of you said that there was some sound issues with the earlier video, and I went back and watched it and I didn't hear any sound issues. I'm not sure. Maybe it was that. I'm not sure if it was a YouTube issue or if it was a me issue. So I did not see that the sound was terrible. So I apologize if the sound was terrible for you. Go back and give it a listen and see if it corrected itself. So chapter 12 starts out with being with someone who has bottomless pockets is complicated. Did Kevin really feel that it was complicated? Five of Cups, Justice in reverse, King of Wands. He was thinking of ways to spend that money. That's what he was doing. Unfortunately, that's the way things are. He cites that, growing up, he had very traditional ideas of breadwinner and who goes to work. Both of his parents worked, but his grandmother did stay home. I think that's kind of par for the course for a lot of us, Gen Xers especially. We were raised with a little bit of a different example, and then the economy went kaput and did not afford us that kind of luxury. He says in the next paragraph about Britney Spears, she was supportive, or at least acted supportive, of me wanting to do music, act, and explore the entertainment industry. Let's see how Britney really felt about him and his talents. And we're using the, for this whole series, we're using the Mystical Medleys Vintage Cartoon Tarot. I like this deck. So how did she feel about Three of Wands? I don't think she had any takers. 9 of Swords. Hangman in reverse, not recognized. Oh, 10 of Swords. Oh my goodness. Happy Squirrel. And 2 of Pentacles. I do think that Britney was trying to find a place for him in her world where he could feel productive. But I am going to liken his music career to a upper middle class husband getting his wife a nail salon or tanning salon or paper store so that she can busy herself.
Did she try to bless his heart?
No, I think that's kind of a nastier. I think that's kind of a backhanded compliment. I don't think she was trying to bless his heart. I think she was like, well, yeah, let's see what works. Let's see if we can get you a job. So, entertainment industry had always been his goal. But he says, even back when I was dancing, I was freestyling and messing around with music in my car. Music and dance, they go hand in hand. With the truly talented, they do. Now, he fast forwards to selling their show Chaotic. And he says he put some money in the bank and he could afford some studio time. Britney was pregnant and said, yeah, go ahead and do it. So he started working with Disco D. This guy worked with 50 Cent. He also worked with JR. I don't know who any of these people are. That's someone who worked with Britney. And he says, I know now that I should have taken my time and put in those 10,000 hours and really honed my craft. But back then, I wasn't thinking like this. I had this blind optimism. Yeah, this is good enough. Let's go. So was it blind optimism? Or was it the expectation that the world was going to accept him with open arms and say, well, Britney's great. We'll give you a chance too. Blind optimism is a little different. And I know you guys love the royals and Meghan Markle, following that whole saga, that crazy saga. I think Kevin was in a mindset at this point where he thought he was untouchable. Like, no matter what he did, it was going to be great. And people were going to come out and be really, really excited about it. I think he expected the money to buy him celebrity. Oh, sounds a lot like Meghan Markle, doesn't it? So I do think that he really expected that. Did he have any modicum of talent? Was there any talent there? Was there any raw talent to work with? If you haven't watched any of his videos, I encourage you to go back and watch some of his videos. He really wanted to be like a pimp extraordinaire. No, there's not a lot of talent there. The Hierophant is preventing that. They did try and coach him. No. So what was the song from Boogie Nights, Greg? You got the touch.
Well, that was also from the Transformers movie.
You got the power.
Group called Lion. I guess the producers of the Transformers.
They used the same movie, the same song.
Yeah, that was.
That's awesome.
That came out of the Matrix of Leadership when he opened it.
That's awesome. So yeah, I do think that they kind of gave K-Fed. You know, did he really want to be a big splashy success? Yeah, but I think he put his cart before the cart of others, and we do have the chariot here. I think he really was a bit obnoxious about the talent that he thought he had. Here, the Six of Cups, I do think that he regretted not cultivating those roots and those connections with people, and actually, you know, singing in your car. My uncle said this to me years ago. Singing in your car is different than singing with a band. It is. It's very different than singing with the band. It's, you know, a completely different animal. You can practice in the car. So Kevin could have practiced in the car, but I don't know what he was doing in there. I don't know. I bet, suffice it to say, I don't think there was a lot of talent. Did Britney think this was just like a busy project for him while she was getting used to motherhood? Did she think it was just kind of a busy project? Fun little busy project for him. Fun little busy project. She knew he didn't have it, and she figured it was something that would distract him and make him feel important. Bless you. I think Britney is quite the peach here. You know why? Because she did try and make her husband feel somewhat like a provider. She tried to create a ruse where he was at least going through the motions of being a provider. So making the effort. Did she think it was ever going to take off? Did she think it was ever going to take off? She was hopeful. Did she like his music? Some of it. Some of it. She liked some of it. So, bless her. Bless that little Britney Spears. So little detour here. I did start watching the series Chaotic. That is the beginning of their relationship. What I referenced before, they made $1 million per episode. And the first episode, I haven't made it all the way through yet. And it's so upsetting because they are in England, they're in Great Britain. And I think they're in London because she was performing at the O2 Arena. And I believe that it is the same time that he lied to Shar Jackson and told her that he was doing something else. And when you have the scope of what was really going on behind the scenes, he just becomes so much more douchey. The bodyguard does not like him. I think his name is Mo, and eventually likes him. But there's a great scene in it's episode 1 or episode 2 where Kevin slaps Mo. I think his name is Mo. Slaps him under the chin. This is a great big guy. Slaps him under the chin, like messing around with him. And he has K-Fed by the throat, brings him down to the ground, and then sits on him. And K-Fed's like, Kevin is like, yeah, like he's a big dude. And Brittany's like, yeah, he's a really big dude. Like, I wouldn't want him sitting on me. And I think that guy's first instinct, he should have gotten him out of there. He should have gotten Kevin out of there. But, you can't fight with the boss. You really can't fight with the boss very much. So, interesting little interlude. So it's free on YouTube. So I will link the first of that episode or the playlist for that. So, So, oh my goodness. So then he tells Britney that he wants to build a studio in the house so he doesn't have to go back and forth to Santa Monica. What else are you doing all day long, dude? What else are you doing? Why did he want to build the studio in the house? What was the point of that expense? Spend more of her money. Devil in reverse. I'm going to say this.
But the money becomes ours.
I think it was twofold. I think, and I'm not reading the cards inductively right now, like I said I would. I think driving back and forth to the studio, and you can't, like, when you're in someone else's studio, you're really not supposed to smoke in there. Back in the day, people smoked in the studio, but now the equipment is too expensive to really smoke in the studio. And I think that he wanted to be able to smoke in his own studio. Who cares about what it's going to cost and what it's going to wreck? And I also think he had this idea that he was going to become a producer, and he was going to, and I've talked about this before, these moguls that create a stable of talent in their studios where they have a bunch of proteges that they're working with, and a little bit of a pyramid scheme there. So I think he was going for the pyramid scheme. No, I'm going to become a producer. I know what kind of music is good. What an absolute douche. So he's going to build the studio in the house. He went all out. Of course he did. Legit setup. Preston was a baby. He wanted to be there. Did he want to be there for Preston? Yeah, he did. I mean, all right, I'll give him that. Started collaborating with people. He got a call from 50 Cent asking if he'd be down to hop on his mixtape, but he turned him down. Is that true? Is that true? He was rolling with the game and some of the Black Wall Street boys. Did he turn 50 Cent down? Five of Swords. I think people told him not to say yes. Was it about the beef? Was it about the fights? Yeah, a little bit. He didn't want to get in the middle of that because he's a pusher. So, whatever. This guy. Honestly, I didn't expect my work to get destroyed the way it did. Sure, I knew people might roll their eyes and go, "Oh, Britney's husband thinks he's a musician now. Cute." I was prepared for that, but what I wasn't ready for was how blankety blank brutal it was. This wasn't just a little shade, it was full on eclipse. People killed it. I didn't think I'd be the next big thing, but I also didn't expect the world to be waiting in ambush with their knives sharpened. And look, I know what people are saying. He's just riding her coattails. He wouldn't have a career if he hadn't married her. Trust her. Trust me, I heard it all. But maybe there was some truth to that. But for me, it was never about trying to prove something to anyone else. It was just doing something I loved. So let's see this roundhouse kick to his ego. The industry, what did they think? What was their take on it? 7 of Wands, it was okay. It's mediocre. 10 of Cups didn't stand the test of time. Did they say, oh, well, it's a Nepo situation? Yeah, it's a Nepo situation. I think his cocktastic attitude was what got in the way. So did his cockiness get in the way? Yep. He was not grateful. He wanted to skip the line. He's a line skipper. He's a line skipper. What a jerk. And I think he treated people badly. I don't think he treated everybody well. Not celebrities, the little people, like smacking that bodyguard under the chin. One does not do that. Did he treat the smaller people poorly? The Moon, 2 of Wands, King of Wands. He was a bit directorial. I know there's a director on there. But he was like, you do this, you do this, you do this. And like, there wasn't that, if you don't mind. And that was something that happened with Meghan Markle too, you all know, because I know you're all royal followers here. Meghan Markle would not say, if you don't mind, Meghan Markle would not say, if you don't mind, would you get me a cup of tea? If you don't mind, would you do blah, blah, blah to the royal staff? And she was barking orders at people. And that was what her initial criticism from Catherine was about. So, oh my goodness. So he says that this whole experience was humbling. Was it? No. He still thought he had it in him. He still thought that people just didn't know who he was, which is what he says in the book. But he realized that people had no clue who he was. He also credits Britney's unstoppable machine, a team of experts that made her career. Is he not giving Britney credit for her talent here and for her work ethic? Is he really saying Britney was a doll? Like I've always said, she's a doll that they take down off the shelf, perform, and then stick her back up there and they leave the human Britney. So is he throwing shade that Britney really wasn't as talented as she is? Yep. He credits her machine for getting her where she is. Not very nice. Not very nice. Is there any truth to that? Is Britney really talented? Let's do it. Let's do it. Britney, genuine talent. Of course she is. She was going places. She was going places all the while. Judgment in reverse. That's the end of the career that we're kind of witnessing now. So, all right. He also blames William Morris. He throws some shade at William Morris, signing a distribution deal through a William Morris subsidiary. Seemed like the right move at the time, but it ended up being another hard lesson. They were supposed to invest $250,000 into the project, which would have covered the tour and other expenses, but I never saw any of that money. I ended up covering the cost myself, nearly $1 million of my own money. It was real shock and eye opener. One that taught me at great expense the importance of knowing exactly what you're signing up for. Did they renege on their commitment to him? They cut him off. It was a group decision because wasn't that good? It was an indulgent project. It did not show any initiative, and they knew that they weren't going to recoup that money. They knew that it wasn't going to come back. So did Kevin recoup any of that $1 million alleged that he spent? Well, let's ask first. Did he really spend $1 million? Did he really? He did. 8 of Cups, very foolishly. High Priestess, wasn't really thinking about it. Didn't send out any tests or anything like that. Didn't test the market. He just rammed it in. Just rammed it in, Greg.
No loop.
Nope. Just rammed it in there. So did Kevin learn actually anything from this before we wrap up this chapter? I honestly think that he is under the impression that if he had not been Mr. Britney Spears, that his music career would have taken off. Sorry. I didn't want to make you start sneezing again.
I was laughing at something else.
Oh. So I think we're going to leave this particular chapter right here because it is his whole career. So we're going to leave it there. And guys, I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you're having some fun with this. We certainly are. Greg, did you have a fun time listening to it?
A loaded question. It was fun in the way that, it's fun in the way that you watch like the Larry David show.
Okay.
It's just
buffoonery.
It's so awkward and cringe that it's funny.
Yeah. And I my big takeaway from this is he's exactly the person that I thought he was.
He's like exactly what I thought Fred Durst was, but apparently Fred Durst is a nice guy.
No, Fred Durst is a nice guy.
I know, you told me that.
Yeah, very nice guy. Very nice guy. Fred Durst, nice guy. I will always say that. So very nice guy. But all the Limp Bizkit guys were nice. My favorite was DJ Lethal. I said that the other day. All right, guys, we're going to cut this here, and I will see you in the next one where we're going to dive into chapter 13 and beyond. So thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.
Sorry about all my biological noises.